I tried it, so you don't have to.
You were the talk of the town.
And I was the talk of the town because Patrick pinches butts.
Butt pincher.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So for this story time, it's going to be about my lovely experiences watching the movie Contagion. Now, it's a really good movie and I really like it, but maybe it wasn't the best time to watch it in a time like this. Today is March 12th, 2020, and we are in the middle of the novel coronavirus or COVID-19. And let's just say Contagion is very similar to the coronavirus to a certain extent. Not everything's the same, but along the lines of a pandemic happens in the world and they're not too sure what it is yet and what happens. And it can be quite scary. So I'm going to kind of go through why perhaps you shouldn't watch it. And I'll just give you a brief overview of maybe why you shouldn't watch it or why it's super interesting and you should watch it. In the end, you make your own decision. Now, I understand that some people might find this video in poor taste with the fact that we are in the midst of a pandemic. However, I'm not trying to make light of the illness itself. I'm just trying to touch base on why the movie itself kind of relates to the pandemic and kind of the similarities or what could actually happen and why the movie could instill fear into you with the current pandemic that we're in. So why don't we get right into it? So to start off, we have a lovely Gwyneth Paltrow playing a woman that is very ill. She starts getting sick while away on a trip, and then she comes back home and she's not feeling good. She thinks it's the flu, but then it turns much worse. What ends up happening though is there's multiple cases of this illness going on in the world. It's happening to someone in London. It's happening to Gwyneth Paltrow in the United States. It's also happening to someone in China as well. The problem is it's happening so fast that they're dying that no one's really sure what's happening. So autopsies need to happen, and the Center for Disease Control is right away on the case to discover kind of what's happening. Once they realize that it's an unknown illness, they reach out and they contact everyone, and the World Health Organization gets involved, and now they realize that they have a real big problem on their hands. So throughout the movie, the virus gets worse and worse and starts spreading quicker and quicker, and you can see how the government plays a part in deciding whether or not they should be closing down schools, what happens to the economy in that case, and things like that, which is also very interesting. It gets to a point, though, where the virus is so bad that they're having to open arenas just to take care of people that are sick. On top of that, people are dying at such a fast rate that they're having to do mass graves for people that are dying. Another thing that's happening is riots are starting to happen. Food's getting very low. There's hardly any food in the grocery stores, nor do you want to even expose yourself to others that may be sick. So then Red Cross and FEMA step in the movie, but even them, they're running out of rations for people, and hence riots start happening. Another thing that happens is break-in and enters are also happening with different grocery stores, and people are being pulled out of their own vehicles just so that someone can take it and drive away. So let's just say watching the movie during this pandemic is quite terrifying because it paints a grim picture of what could happen. Now, obviously, cinema exaggerates it to an extent, but not necessarily. These are things that could actually happen. And while watching that, while you're going through your own pandemic, it's very scary. But let's not forget, it is an amazing cast. It's very scientifically accurate. They had many doctors on hand to provide feedback and counsel to the directors and the producers while making the film to make sure that it was accurate to the best of its ability. Luckily, at the end of the movie, they do find a vaccine, and they start doing almost like a lottery for the vaccine by pulling birth dates. And those specific birth dates are those that will get the vaccine, since they don't have enough for everyone in the world. So that's just how things could happen. So let's just say Contagion is a very interesting movie. I highly recommend you watch it if you want to kind of see what could happen and possibly what the workings could be happening on in the background for even our own pandemic that we're not even aware of. We're only kind of seeing the media side of things and what our own public health are messaging to us with our own governments. However, if you're a little bit of a germaphobe or you're scared of things like that, perhaps don't watch the movie, since it does go to the extreme of what could really happen in an extreme crisis pandemic where people are dying at such a quick rate and they're not sure what the cure is for the illness. I apologize if my camera is shaky a bit. I did just change webcam holdings. And that's it. My recommendation is your choice. You decide if you want to watch the movie or not. I watched it. You don't have to. I did enjoy it, but it did make me a little scared for like the next couple of days. I mean, the movie highlights a lot of people touching things that other people touch, and it makes you realize that, you know what? You touch a lot of stuff that other people touch, and that's kind of gross, especially when people are sick. So always make sure to wash your hands, stay home if you're sick, and try and reduce contact with other people if you're sick, or avoid contact with people that are sick as much as possible. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!